Tony Adams. I'm from Worcester, Ohio. I ended up at AU. I'd always heard of the school. I've always wanted to be a teacher, and I heard it was a real good school. It's a 30-minute drive from me, so I actually commute. And it wasn't until I was on my tour here that I actually learned about the Ashbrook program. And they took me up to the classroom, which used to be on the 8th floor of Andrews. And immediately, I don't know, something just clicked. And I thought, this seems like a program that I might want to look into further. And then I did my interview, and here I am pretty much. I am a major in integrated social studies education, so I actually don't have to carry a minor, so I don't have a minor. My favorite thing in Convo is probably just the cheese sauce that they have sometimes. I just, on chicken tenders, on anything like that, there's a couple times where there was like a free day for commuters, and I went in, and that was like my favorite thing, was just the cheese sauce. The topic of my thesis is Social Security, old age pensions, how they came about, and what was the pushback to it at the time. I'm going to have to go with cookies because I'm not much of a sweets guy, but cookies would definitely be hard to give up, but I couldn't give up pizza or tacos. This is a tough one because there are several professors that I've had a lot of classes with. Dr. Burkett, I think I've had like 5 classes with him. Dr. Rogers, I know I've had at least 3, maybe 4. I love all of the Ashbrook professors, to be honest with you. I don't know if I could really say I have a favorite. I'll say Dr. Burkett because I know him the best. And then Dr. Rogers would be a close second because I know her very well as well. So I've spent a lot of time with both of them. So those are the 2 names I'll put out there. My favorite class was American Political Thought Part 2 with Dr. Burkett, where we went over the progressive era in great detail. And then we went beyond that as well, but really the progressive era stuff was just so interesting to me. I mean, the way that American politics changed, and, you know, I get to teach a lot of that kind of thing in my classroom now, even though I'm just student teaching. And I'll get to teach a lot more of that when I actually get into teaching. So it was very insightful, very in depth. And I wish I had more time to talk about those things with the students that I have. But I feel like I have a real great depth of the knowledge from that course. And it was just so interesting to me. Yeah, so I do have a fun Ashbrook story to tell. So when we first came in as a freshman class and we did our little Ashbrook boot camp, as we liked to call it, we watched a movie called The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. And in one of the scenes, somebody refers to Liberty Valance, and they say something about that man. And there's this old man that goes, "You call Liberty Valance a man?" And we just thought that was so funny. So whenever we would debate in our classes, all of a sudden somebody would just say, "You call Liberty Valance a man?" And there's guys now that, I haven't seen him for a couple weeks, and I see him on campus, and I'm like, "You call Liberty Valance a man?" It's like a greeting now. And if anybody's around us, they're like, "What the heck are those guys talking about?" But that really encompasses my whole Ashbrook experience, that one story right there, because you meet a lot of people that are like-minded, and you really just, you find little quirks and things that you guys think are funny and nobody else really does, and you learn together that way as well. So I think that story encompasses a lot of my experience. So after I graduate, I'm going to hopefully become a history teacher, a high school history teacher, as long as I can get a job. The job market's looking pretty good right now, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm starting to apply already, actually. So yeah, the hope is to either be world history or American history, or a combination of both, and then we'll see from there. Maybe someday I'll move on and move up into administration or something like that. I'm looking in Ohio. I want to stay. So I live in Worcester. I want to stay pretty close to Worcester, within an hour or so, because I love Worcester. I lived there my whole life. it's close to here as well. So if I ever want to come back and visit any of the old spots that I used to hang out in my time here, then I can do that as well. So I'm open to moving a little bit, but I definitely want to stay pretty local. I'd have to say I'd be a bald eagle. Whenever I was little, I loved bald eagles. My grandparents used to take me down to the Shreve swamps, and I had binoculars, and I was always trying to look for them. Could never see them. All the time now on my drive to Ashland on Route 30, I see eagles everywhere. I'm like, where were all these eagles when I was little? So I've always just been kind of fascinated with them. And I think it'd be cool to just fly around and see everything from a bird's eye view. My coffee order is just black coffee. That's it. Drink it every morning and no sugar, no cream needed. I'm going to say my dad, my grandpa, and my great grandfather, who I never got to meet. Um, I think it'd be really cool to actually meet him. I've heard a lot of stories about him. And then to have my dad and my grandfather there, it'd be real cool to reminisce with all of them. And yeah, I think that would be my three. I have a few hobbies. I play guitar. Um, Not very well, but I play guitar. I try at least. I like to go on walks. There's a lot of walking trails that my girlfriend and I go to um, up around like the Cuyahoga Falls area. Um, Real nice trails and things like that. So yeah, I'd say those are my main two hobbies: just hiking and playing guitar. Let's do 16. I would be sharp cheddar because that's my favorite type of cheese. Even though most people prefer mild cheddar, I prefer sharp. So I'd be sharp cheddar.